20 years of marriage, I can't remember buying cream. Like that. Once we catch one big bottle of Vaseline, the whole family will be swimming inside. We are covered. So, these are very small, small things, but they can put pressure. She's not that type. She makes things easy for me. She's not the demanding type. She takes life easy. She's a simple woman, which has made things very easy for me.
Thank you for these 20 years, for being my husband and for being a godly man. I'm sincerely grateful to you. Many had problems in their marriage, in their spiritual life as a result of their marriage. But mine has not been like that. Courtesy of you, I'm grateful.
If you are married to a good woman, as a man, your wife is actually your inside pastor. Because outsiders will never know how things are going, but she is there. So I think she has been doing well. She's also committed. In fact, just a few weeks ago, one young man met her trekking to visit a school. So on another occasion, I met the young man there and I gave him lift. So I told him I was running to one school somewhere. So the young man looked at me and said, he has always met people where the man is zealous, but not the wife. So I think her commitment and love for God and His work has made things easy for me. Brethren, for a married missionary, complaint from your wife can be very demoralizing.
When we started early, one thing I know is that he always wants me to go out with him. Sometimes I'm the one that often shy away, or that give one excuse or the other. I remember when we were in Zamfara, most of the time when we go out, we even hold hands and go out. To the point that there was a time one of my students, they saw us, they were just saying, "See Malama," and they were just laughing. It was the next day I came to class, they were laughing, they said, "We saw you and Tears," because they call him Tears then, holding hands together and go, walking on the street. I never had any time to regret getting married to him. Even though, marriage, you also have challenges, especially at the early stage when we are getting to know ourselves, because I believe it's the type that it doesn't play with the work of God. So I think that's the aspect that I have a little, see, this man of God have time for me too. Not only God's work. I'm sure I love children, so I don't have problem with that. To the point that one of my neighbors was even jealous, let me use that word. That see your husband, he play with children, he help you to take care of children, but my own husband don't like it, and yet he wants me to have more children.
I'm Gabriel Baden Beindi.
I thought you introduced me to.
And she's Favor Taiwo Beindi. One of the things I hated to see was to see a wife crying. Can't forget the day my pastor's wife came to my house crying, how I felt bad. So I always feel that my wife should not cry. But I still recall that the first time I came and met my wife crying, and I discovered I was the cause of the cry, I said, I'm in trouble now. And I discovered it was still traceable to the issue of trying to cut her off from her denomination. And I wanted a temporary withdrawal so that she would become used to people of other backgrounds. So there was a Deeper Life program organized by Kumuyi. She wanted to go. And I said, please don't go. And I traveled. I never knew that the thing pained her that much.
I think he's very romantic, but he's still himself. Even though he tried trying to take me out, sometimes going to buy me something. Even I'm the one that sometimes will say, this money you have spent to buy this thing, I can maybe utilize it.
Trouble, I'm telling you. In fact, I think it's just the last time I took her out that there was no quarrel. If not, she will be quarreling. How can you spend this kind of money to buy a plate of food? I said, no, have mercy on me.
So I see that aspect as the way he's trying to be romantic. So when I get to understand it, so I flow with it.
I never believed I could be excited. But I still recall that one day, she came from Ibadan. We were to see our church pastor in preparation towards the wedding. And I was to see her off to the park the next day. So from the house where she slept, she came to the park. I came to the park too, just waiting for the vehicle to fill up so that she would travel. By the time the vehicle was remaining one passenger, I paid for that seat and joined the vehicle.
Kaduna.
And traveled from Gusau, Zamfara State to Kaduna State just to see how I'm telling you. You know. So that is, I came out of the house with the intention that maybe 15 minutes vehicle is fit, she's gone. But I ended up spending the whole day because Gusau to Kaduna is like 4 hours or 4 hours, 30 minutes to 5 hours journey.
Most of the programs, we go together, we organize it, we partake in it. And because of that, it also gives me time to also pray, to tarry. Maybe some of the programs I don't go with him, tarry before God in prayer. It's also increased my faith actually. And God was also faithful when he realized that I have resigned and we are looking unto him. He raised supporters for us. He raised partners for us to also meet our need.
I must confess she has been very supportive. As supportive as resigning a government job. She was working with Zamfara State government. But even before we did our wedding, we had agreed that God has called us. Anything she's doing is PP, what you call private aside practice, so that we will not have headache. And like joke, not too long after she even got the job, I received a letter of transfer. So I told her, and without much struggle, she resigned. In fact, even when she took letter of resignation, even the people in ministry were like, what is wrong with you? Are you the first person to be transferred? Because they had this government practice where somebody can be somewhere far away, just come once a term. But we said, no, as Christians, how do you work like that? So she had to resign and follow me, which was a very painful decision because you know how a missionary is struggling to get small money. Then you now get a government job, you have to forfeit it again.
On coming to when we know he proposed me also, you know the ministry I attend, you don't propose direct, you go through the church. So one of the days, I just walked into his office. And I've been coming to the office before for many other transactions. But that very day when I came in, he asked me that he want to see me. I said, okay. So he started talking that he wants to go to my church leadership to ask my hand in marriage. Actually, I was taken aback because I never expected it, even though it's supposed to be a surprise for me. Because I remember before then, I was waiting on God, and God precisely told me He has answered me, and there was this kind of peace. In short, a day before that day, He told me that I had a fasting and prayer, then I had night vigil concerning just my life partner. So it was in the morning, going about my normal activity. So I decided to branch the office to see him. So I was really dazed at that moment, but something kept telling me, but I told you I've answered you.
But one day as he entered my office, it dawned on clearly in my spirit that this is your wife. So, but, you know, I needed to still pray more, and especially knowing that to catch a wife from her church can be war. So I needed to be sure. So after praying for a while, I now told her like she had mentioned. So, but I was playing, how do I put it now? Safety. Number one, in their church, if they propose to you without committee, it's a problem. And all of that. So I didn't want to create problem for her. So I had to be asking her whether she's permitting me to go and see the committee.
I know he's a spiritual man. He loves God and loves spiritual things. But also, he's also committed to the marriage.
Please don't forget to like and subscribe.